Hey guys, it's Jess. Please excuse any random bug noises. I'm filming outside because I love the lighting, and I mean, it's cute background, right? Trees, nature, makes it look like I go outside more than once a week. Anyways, today's video is going to be my tips, my advice for incoming freshmen in high school. So let's get started. I think one of my first pieces of advice is don't be nervous. And I know that's crazy to say, but you don't need to be nervous, because being nervous doesn't get you anywhere. It's okay to be nervous, just don't be too scared, because it's good. You should be, I think, be excited. Not like super excited, because I mean, like, it's school. But high school, in my opinion, is like the best so far. Maybe college is cooler, but high school is definitely cooler than middle school. So be excited, because high school, you do get a lot of work, you get a lot of responsibility, however, you get a lot of freedom, you start meeting people with similar interests, and you start meeting cool people. You should know, the people you've been friends with for the past, like, 8 years of your life may not be your friends anymore. You might just go to casual acquaintances. Don't, like, cut ties or burn bridges, but understand, people grow apart, and this is when you're gonna start, hopefully, learning about who you are and what you want to do with your life. So it's okay if your friend realizes they want to play soccer super bad, but you want to be in choir. Like, that's okay. And maybe you're sitting here and you're like, I have no idea what I want. Still okay. You don't have to know everything. In high school, at least for my freshman year, there was a lot of time they spent getting us to think of our program of study, where we want to go to college, what we want to do with our lives. But it is good to think about these things a little bit so you have some kind of idea, you know? You want to think about jobs and stuff. Also, if you can, in some way, obtain a map of your school, I would recommend that, because high schools, they're big. They're confusing. You may have never been in your high school before, so you will probably get turned around. What I did was I mapped out my classes, because most class schedules, if you get them before the first day of school, you will be able to, like, map out your classes. Otherwise, don't panic. But I would say, having a map really helps, especially when your friends are like, where in the world is B206? You can be like, oh look, go from here, it's this way from the stairs. Like, it's good to have a map. If you can, find yourself like a mentor or an older friend. You don't necessarily want all your friends to be juniors and seniors, but it's cool to have a friend who's a senior who's been around for 4 years and they know the school like the back of their hand. And it's also cool to have someone who's taken the courses you're about to take who can tell you, like, oh yeah, it's difficult, or hey, you can do this, or whatever. It's nice to have older friends too sometimes. Don't just join something because your friends are joining something, but it is good to join things with friends with similar interests. I hope that makes sense. And it's also okay to do stuff with a friend, because I know there were certain clubs I was hesitant to join, but I was like, hey, join this with me. And so it's nice to have a familiar face. Other things, please, 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 I cannot stress this enough, do your homework. Homework is as important as your classwork. It's important that you're awake in class, you're paying attention, taking notes, and that you're doing your homework if you want to get an A. If you don't want an A, then you need to decide for yourself how much effort you want to put in, and people do that. Like, if you want a B, if you want a C, you get what you put into it. So decide what you want, and don't be surprised if you do nothing and the test rolls around and you have a C. It's because you were asleep the whole time. Also, stay hydrated and carry snacks. So I know I always carry extra snacks and water because I get hungry. Who knows? You don't know if your lunch is going to end up being at 1 o'clock, and so you don't want to be hungry. Another thing, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because there's certain opportunities that you might go for and you might fail, but you also might get them. You never know. I ran for class president and I lost, but even in the process of losing, although that is slightly embarrassing and damages your pride a little bit, you learn a lot. So don't be afraid to go for anything, as long as it's not like bad. Don't do drugs, but don't be afraid to go for things that aren't harmful if you're gonna, like, learn something from it or get a great opportunity. Meet new people and make new friends, because, you know, you're gonna spend the next 4 years of your life in high school. You might as well know some people to smile at in the hallway. And make friends with your teachers. You don't need to brown nose your teachers, but it is a good idea to have a good relationship with your teachers so that when you need help, you have someone you can go to, and just you have to communicate with your teachers, so it's better to be on a positive note with them than a negative note. And have fun, because you know, there's going to be nights when you cry, there's going to be nights when you're stressed, and sometimes you're just going to go home and fall asleep because you're exhausted. This is normal. Not necessarily every night, but it happens. You get stressed out in high school because you've never handled anything this big before. But you will get better, but don't let it get you down. Enjoy yourself, because high school is fun if you make it fun. Like anything in life, if you make the best of it, you will get good results. Things don't always go as planned, but things get better. And there's always, I think there's always a silver lining. You can find one. Also, other weird little thing, I would recommend getting a Twitter just to keep up with the social aspect. You don't need to be on it 24/7, but having Twitter is good so that you kind of keep up with stuff, because trends go around on Twitter. It's a good way to communicate with people, keeps you relevant, so Twitter's cool. And in high school, some people start dressing up. In high school, some people start dressing down. Just figure out what you want to wear. You don't have to wear dressy clothes every day, you don't have to wear sweats every day, but figure out what you feel comfortable in and rock whatever you feel confident in. You don't have to wear makeup to school if you don't want to wear makeup to school. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. I hate that there's this standard that if you're not wearing makeup that you're lazy or you don't care. Wear whatever makes you confident and be proud of yourself, because you're gonna do great in high school. You're gonna have fun, it's gonna be good. Figure out what kind of path you want to be on so you're taking the right classes and in the right things. If you can't figure it out, don't stress yourself. Again, it's high school, you still have the rest of your life ahead of you. High school is not as cool as they make it out to be in those 30-second montages in movies. High school, I don't think it's as also brutal as they make it out to be, because it seems to me the stereotypical high school in movies is either really freaking awesome or really terrible, and I don't think it's either of those. I think it's kind of in between, and I also think it depends on how you view it personally. First month is rocky. First month of anything's always rocky. Don't give up. But if you did sign up for too much, don't be scared to talk to your counselor to get things straightened out, because I know I had to drop a class just because you can't don't stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning for schoolwork. If you're doing that, that's not a you problem. That's you, well, yeah, it is a you problem. You just need to get your courses settled and figured out. Make sure you're happy and healthy, because that, at the end of the day, is one of the most important things. I guess, make friends, do your schoolwork, show up, definitely show up, do your best, don't stress, try not to stress, you will stress anyways. You'll look back and realize it wasn't as bad as it seemed. You lived through it, and if school ever seems to be too much, just remember, you're gonna wake up tomorrow, it's gonna be okay. If you don't turn in the paper on time, you're gonna lose 20 points. It's okay. It's okay to do bad on one paper or one test. Alright guys, that's my high school advice. I am wishing you the best high school experience. Even if you're not a freshman, I think those tips are hopefully helpful. That's my thoughts on high school so far. So I'm hoping you're having a great summer. Don't stress about high school. It's gonna be fine. You'll live through it. I mean, hopefully. No, you'll live. It's good. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye!